Hey, Walter Sorrells back with more tips for the knife maker. Today, making a martial arts training knife. So I've gotten a lot of requests lately from guys who are interested in karambits. And so before I make an actual real karambit, I wanted to try a few prototypes and kind of see how the basic form of the knife functioned ergonomically. Now, I haven't actually trained with karambits in the past. I'm not a practitioner of Filipino martial arts. It's just not something I know too much about. So a while back, I made a little wooden test, you might say, prototype, whatever. Carried it around, used it a little bit, just to see how it felt in the hand. So in this video, I'm going to make this right here, which is a training device for martial artists. Looks like a knife, sort of, but of course it's not. It's made out of a plastic type material so that you don't injure your training partners. But of course, you don't have to be training for martial arts. You don't have to be a martial artist. Anybody can do this and just do it for fun. There's a method to the madness here. As I said, basically, I don't really know the form too well of the karambit. So I'm going to sort of go through this sequence of tests, see how these various test blades feel in my hand. So by the time that I make the actual real knife, I'll have a pretty good sense of how it feels in my hand, how I'm going to use it so that the actual knife itself really functions. So we'll see how that works. Anyway, this week, micarta. Okay, today we got a pretty short project. This week, having learned a few things from fiddling around with that wooden prototype, I'll be making a training karambit. This would be the sort of thing that you'd use in the dojo to practice with blunt edges so that you don't hurt anybody. What I learned with the wooden prototype I made is that you want this little area here to be thinner than I made it on my wooden model. This will allow your grip to be more even so that you can tighten your fist better. Now you could make one from, say, aluminum or obviously from wood like the one that I made last week, or you could make it from some kind of high impact plastic like PTFE. Many cutting boards are made from PTFE. Kids, if you want to earn mom's undying love, go in there and turn her favorite cutting board into a martial arts weapon. Anyway, I'll be using a favorite custom knife maker's material, micarta. Micarta is composed of layers of cloth or paper impregnated with phenolic resin, making it fairly tough. It's typically used for knife handles and is available in sheets of various thicknesses as well as in a variety of colors. I use 1/4 inch stock because that's a useful size for knife makers, but I'd recommend going with 3/8 or even 1/2 inch thickness because that'll be a good deal stronger. You can find micarta from knife makers' supply places as well as plastic suppliers. For this project, like the last one, I'm going to be using minimal tools. A hand drill will be the only power tool. Otherwise, it's just files, rasps, hand saws, and some sandpaper. I'll go ahead and cut the micarta into a blank. Micarta produces really awful dust, so I recommend using a high quality respirator. I'll begin by drawing the general shape of the knife. I'm not trying to draw it accurately because I'll actually be drawing the knife, so to speak, with the tools. What I mean by that is that now that I know what I'm aiming for, I'm going to be shaping it very specifically to fit my hand. A detailed and accurate drawing would look really cool and professional, but it would actually be the wrong way to achieve my goal of a good fit from hand to knife. To my younger viewers, there's a life lesson here. Much of the stuff in the world that looks really cool and professional is actually designed to camouflage the fact that the guy who made it has no idea what he's doing. As you will learn, this is the entire justification for PowerPoint presentations. I'll start the same way I did with the wood karambit, drilling the finger hole. You want to do this first because if you locate the hole incorrectly, nothing else will fit. I'm using sacrificial pieces to avoid tearing the surface of the micarta. Being a laminate, the material will rip along the grain if you give it a chance. This is a 7/8 inch hole, which seems right for my fingers. If you want to be safer, or if you have big hands, whatever, you could go a full inch. I'm using a spade bit, but a hole saw would work just fine. If you've been watching my channel lately, you've heard me mention Patreon. It's a cool way for you to partner with this channel and get some benefits beyond watching the videos. Plus, you get that warm feeling you have when you stand up for things you value. Click the link for Patreon. Then, let's get back to it. Next, I'll use my crappy little drawing as a template and scratch in the general shape. On black micarta, scratching actually shows up much better than ink. Now I'll saw off the waste. Of course, I have a bandsaw and I could do this faster and more accurately there, but I'm trying to show you a way that will work with very simple tools. Now, if you've got more sophisticated tools, there are any number of ways that you can save a lot of time. Scroll saws, jigsaws, frame saws, jeweler's saws, Dremels, belt grinders. There are all kinds of things that you might be able to use on this and make it a little easier. Next, I'll use this carpenter's rasp to shape the exterior curves. I'm saving the grip for the final part. I'll use a round file to shape the finger holes. I could also use a half round, which would have a radius that fit a little bit more, but my half round fell behind a cabinet and I don't really feel like tearing my shop apart to get the damn thing. I keep trying it for fit and comfort, particularly aiming to get it so the ring finger will come flush with my other fingers. Once I've got the shape so that it fits my fingers, I'll do some final adjustment for aesthetics. Then I'll soften the edges to make it more comfortable to hold, and also so that I don't injure my training partners. Some of that will be with the file, and some with sandpaper. Just keep going to finer and finer grit sandpaper. I happen to quit here at 600. If you want to buff it out, that's okay too. Just quit wherever you feel happy, wherever it looks like you want it to look. And that's it. If you substitute some power equipment and work efficiently, you can probably do this in about an hour. All by hand, it's still a project you should be able to comfortably accomplish in an afternoon. And now you can spend the evening flipping the thing around in your hand, pretending you're Doug Marcaida, which your wife will love. Not the Doug Marcaida part, the flippy bit. She'll love it even more when you make the real one that sticks in the upholstery when it flies out of your hand. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll watch all the videos in this sequence so that you can kind of see, a process, a logical process to go through to learn how to make a particular kind of knife. You don't have to always go stampeding straight to making a knife itself. You can do some cheaper, easier work, up front, and then when you actually start making the knife itself, you got a better idea of how to do it. Coming soon, a real karambit. Actual steel. Hey, Hey guys, if you found value in this video, I hope you'll consider partnering with the channel to help us bring more videos, better videos, more knives, more techniques, all that cool stuff. Click the link to Patreon to help this channel. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, bro, what are you waiting on? And check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, if you're into Japanese swords, check out my website, waltersorrellsblades.com, where you'll see more of my work and where you'll find videos about the making of Japanese swords, along with mounting, fittings, polishing, hamones, all kinds of good stuff. Now, more videos.